10, 9. We just
Okay, ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Life Through the Lens. Tonight, our guest is SmugMug, and you think an entire company cannot fit in a hangout? Well, honey, you guessed wrong. The legend is here with us tonight, and we've been so excited all week. We have with us Katherine Cheng, Yvonne Makarov, and Nick Wrzesinski, and they are going to share how to work with SmugMug. We're going to share business tips for the photographers. We're also going to learn about where SmugMug came from and a little bit of what the mission is behind these amazing people. And I cannot wait. So, without much ado, or more ado than I've already made, we're going to go ahead and introduce ourselves and then our SmugMuggies and go from there. So let's start with Anna Nguyen here on the end.
Hi everyone, it's Anna Wen, like winning. Yay!
Yeah, I didn't say it right. Thanks for reminding me.
It's okay. I'm a photographer based out of Naples, Florida. You can find my work at zanna.com, and you can find my proofing gallery at zanna.smugmug.com.
Yoo-hoo! Yvonne, just a quick introduction, and then we're going to come back and really delve into who you are.
Okay. Yvonne Makarov. I work at SmugMug, and I'm also a photographer and based out of Bay Area. I live in San Jose. SmugMug is based in Mountain View nearby, so that's where I'm at. And my website is YvonneMakarov.com. That's both a portfolio website and a SmugMug account.
Awesome. You are an amazing photographer in addition to a smug. What do you call it? Is it a SmugMuggian? Is it a smugite? Is it a smugathon? Is it a, what are you exactly?
Smug Nation. Yes.
A smuggy.
Smug Nation.
Smugmugger, I don't know.
Yeah.
Part of the Smug
Nation.
We may make that part of the contest. Did I mention we're giving away a SmugMug Pro account tonight? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And you got to be present to win. Can I just say that too? All right, we're moving over to I don't know if it's left or right in your view, but it's Katherine Cheng.
Hi.
The most awesome.
Yeah, Karen's been really nice to me. I'm Katherine, and I do partnerships and community at SmugMug. I'm a photographer aspirationally, but I definitely have a lot to learn. And my SmugMug site is catsaysheckyeah.com.
I love it.
And her tagline is, I'm Katherine Cheng and Karen is nice to me. Carrie Murphy.
Hey everybody, I'm Carrie Murphy. I'm a photographer outside of the Washington, D.C. area, and I do have a SmugMug site at carriemurphyphotography.com. And I am happy to be here. Can't wait to learn some new stuff.
Yay! Nick. You're our superhero.
Yep. Hey, I'm Nick Wrzesinski from just outside of Chicago. And I've been with SmugMug for about 4 years, or employed and then a customer for 7. And you can check out my sites at galleries.nickwphoto.com.
Fantastic. He's an amazing photographer also. Everybody here are amazing photographers. I'm going to get sick of saying that. I never get sick of saying that, so you're going to get sick of hearing it, though. Moving over, Ron Clifford, the amazing.
Hello, Karen Hutton. How are you tonight?
I'm marvelous. How are you?
Doing great. There is giddiness in the air. It's really odd. We're all really excited for SmugMug. Yeah, Ron Clifford. My website is below my name. Ron Clifford. www.ronclifford.com. That's really difficult. But just catch me here on G+, and I'm just too excited, so let's move on.
I'm just too excited. I'm going to just have a burst, and I have to move on.
Just don't pee yourself.
Tamara Brusner!
Hello. I'm Tamara Prusner. I'm a photographer in Arizona, and surprisingly enough, I just completely finished redoing my website just in time to start really working with SmugMug people. I'm so excited! Yay! So you can catch me over at throughtamseyes.com, and I'm really excited to talk to you guys tonight.
Yay! 10 to you!
Hey, I'm Tana Teal from Eastern Washington. I'm a photographer. I got to put that part in right. I'm here, I think. So anyway, I'm excited too. As you can tell, I'm like giddy with excitement because I have a SmugMug account, tanateal.smugmug.com, where you can find prints. And I can't wait to learn some more, so let's just get to it.
Yay! And I'm Karen Hutton. You can find me at KarenHutton.com. I do voiceovers professionally, and my photography, which is a SmugMug site, and it is so gorgeous, is KarenHuttonPhotography.com. Thank you very much. All right, we are going to start tonight. Katherine,
Yes.
my darling. I think a lot of people don't know about each of your background and what brought you to this amazing company, because this company blows everybody's mind with the customer service, with what their what the belief, what the company-wide belief is, but it's made up of its people. And as I've gotten to know you guys over the past year or so, I think you guys' story is as important as the company. So how did all this happen for you? You weren't in photography initially. You didn't come from the photography world in the beginning. You came from marketing.
Yeah, I somehow walked into one of the best jobs in the world, having had no real photography background. Back in the day, I shot film. I have that same story. I had my 35 millimeter, and I processed my own film. So I've always had this love for photography, but it's kind of carried me through a lot of different kinds of amazing companies. So before SmugMug, I did a stint doing documentary film at PBS. Before that, I worked at a nonprofit managing this really huge youth awards program. So I think for me, the common theme has always been working with these larger communities of really passionate, creative people and empowering them and connecting them to resources. So with SmugMug specifically, that was kind of the path. I had, this basic love for photography, though I wasn't myself a photographer, and I had a real interest in working with this group of people who wanted just to sort of take their passion to the next level. So it was a really amazing sort of crossing of paths. I'm originally from the East Coast, so my nickname at SmugMug is, for better or worse, is Jersey, because I am a girl from Jersey with bangs. And I moved to San Francisco about 3 years ago to just work with some really exciting companies. So that's really the broad sketch of how I got here.
You have a background in nonprofit too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I was one of those really idealistic kids graduating from college, wanting to make the world a better place, and I was able to follow that dream into an amazing organization that specifically worked with teenagers. And so within that capacity, I did a lot of media planning. I did a lot of event management and program management. So it was a really nice way to sort of get a dose of the real world coming out of this pretty sort of high-level college education. And then I think the whole point of any sort of education is that it gives you these basic skills, and it helps nurture your curiosity, and you can self-learn. And I think you see that in a lot of photographers today. They teach themselves, they absorb the world around them. And so I think I kind of took the same approach.
That's awesome. I love that you have that, in all the conversations that we've had over the past months, it just always ends up going into our personal philosophies and how the world should work, and you work for a company that works that way. So
yeah.
Excited. Yeah, it's just amazing. So I'm so excited you're here tanight. Yeah, we're
Karen, I'm just going to interject. I kind of feel bad for you because I feel like every time we talk, I must be like this. Oh my God, Karen! I think that excitement totally motivates me, and I think it's something that you see in every SmugMug customer and employee. It's we truly just love working here as a company, but it's because of the work. You get to work with some of the most brilliant photographers and passionate people, and I think that's really contagious and fun.
Yeah. Well, that wouldn't have anywhere to land if you weren't that kind of person to begin with. So it's a beautiful circle, is all I'm saying. I want to get into more about the the company and philosophy, because it really does sort of take off from there. But I want to bring everybody along. So Yvonne, let's say hi to Ivan Makarov.
Hello.
How are you, my friend?
Good.
He's like, shut up. So tell us a little bit about, your background and what you do at SmugMug and how this all happened for you.
So I have a bit of an interesting story, actually. I don't know if I'm sitting in this chair if not for Google Plus and its emergence on the scene. because the way it happened was I knew about SmugMug for years, but never really knew anybody at the company. I had an indirect connection to the head of marketing at the time, whose name was Markham. And back, if you rewind back to the beginning of the year, Karen, you have there in the background +1 collection book. And Ron has it as well. I think a few of you have seen it. And we published that book earlier in the year, and what happened was I was on the show like this. It was a Thomas Hawk show, and I was talking about the book, and the show was sponsored by SmugMug. And Markham, who was the head of marketing at SmugMug, was watching that show, and he heard that I was from San Jose, and he thought, oh, here's a local guy. Let's invite him over for lunch. And so he contacted me, and he just sent me an email. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. And then we started talking, and it turns out that his wife was a sister of one of my coworkers. So we had that connection. We had a lot of mutual friends. And then one day I came over for lunch at SmugMug. Really was very, very impressed with what I've seen from the company. I've met the president of the company, Chris McCaskill, who showed me around the office and was talking to me about the company. And eventually we got talking, and it turns out that they had a need, which was my area of expertise, which is the area of finance. And they were just thinking about doing something about that function. And I thought, well, here's the photography company. I love photography. I'm a photographer, and could be one of those rare opportunities in my life where I could combine both interests. And then one day I just emailed Chris back and said, hey, about that position in finance, can we talk again? And I came over, and 7 hours later they gave me an offer.
Sweet.
That was,
How perfect is that?
I didn't think I was going for a job interview or anything, but that's kind of how it turned out, and I just couldn't pass it off.
No, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
That's an amazing
That's
opportunity.
fantastic. Yeah.
And I can vouch. I don't know. Some of us worked with Yvonne on this book. Either contributing
It was
or
incredible.
whatever. The man is a machine.
Seriously.
This thing. I've never been a part of a project like this that was. I mean, the thing ran. It was global, and it ran like clockwork. I mean, the thing was so smooth and so
Super
beautiful.
smooth.
Yeah.
I would have been gouging my eyes out, but no. Yvonne's like, oh, it's a bit much, but it's really very fun.
Yeah.
We're having
I didn't sleep at all last
How are
night.
you?
That's good.
It's amazing. You have prodigious skills, young man.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was a fun community project.
And it's made a bucket of money for Kiva.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Yeah.
So, but it's just the beginning. We're working on similar projects. In fact, we're about to launch a magazine that's a bit of an offshoot of the book. And of course, I still get emails regularly saying, when's the next version of the book going to come out? I want to contribute. So at some point, we're going to have to start thinking about that too.
Nice.
But
where can they find out more?
there's only, we have a website called +1collection.com, and that's a website dedicated to the book. We also have a foundation that we formed for projects like this that is called Photographers for Good Foundation. And the website right now is actually still hosted on, well, it will be hosted on SmugMug. You just need to change the URL, but it's, I think it's it's +1magazine.smugmug.com.
Yeah, I like that. Actually, we got to end this show early because I got to go start a foundation. Yes. I love it. And we started a foundation. Then I ran for president.
Sorry, gotta run.
No, there was a sense in doing that because number one, we can keep doing projects like this, and number two, tax situation when you collect cash like this is getting pretty complicated. So that was one of the things we had to do to make sure we can accomplish things like this.
It's fantastic. That's awesome. I'm so happy you're here tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you for
welcome.
coming.
Glad to be here.
Yay. Nick, you have a nickname, Nick.
I have a nickname.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people call me Beardly.
I don't know why. It's a
Yeah.
strange thing. So tell us you're a hero. I love
yes,
calling. I love saying this is my
He's a
hero.
superhero.
Yeah.
Not many people get to say that that's their official job title, but yeah, I'm a support hero for SmugMug, and I also do business development. So if anyone ever heads out to the trade shows, things like PPE, WPPI, things like that, you'll see me out there, and I kind of stick out in the crowd. But I've been a support hero for about 4 years. I've been a customer for 7, so that's actually how I got involved with working for SmugMug. I was a big part of DGRIN, which is our support forum. So I started off there when I started my site, just asking for help myself. And then as time went on and I learned more, I started helping other people. And it was a really great community there to everyone taught each other what they knew about SmugMug, about the internet, about photography. And I also learned a lot of what I know about photography through that forum and through other SmugMug users and just other photographers that were in there. And through that, I met some people in the company through some trips we went on, and eventually I got hired on. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty
organic.
pretty amazing.
How organically, everybody kind of gravitates into this company.
Yeah, it was kind of like a 3-year interview at DGRIN. They got to see me helping other people for about 3 years, and then when I asked for the job, they already knew me, and they knew what I knew about the site and that I was already helping people. So
people might actually talk to you, right? Like how? I mean, do you answer in the live chat?
No, they won't talk to him.
Because you're part of the support team that actually connects with people, right?
I'm doing a bit less of that now. I do more of the trade shows and the business development now. So I'm working with higher level with other companies and trying to get stuff like people in Club Smug, which is discounts that all SmugMug users get. Trying to add people to that and to other work like that. But yeah, I've been. There's 2 Nicks here, so if you get a reply from Nick on the help desk, it's probably not me, but that would be the other Nick.
But as this whole thing blossoms and burgeons, you're at the forefront. You're on the leading edge of this.
Yeah, I see a lot of people face to face. So that people are always really happy to meet SmugMug employees face to face at the trade shows. So that's really exciting because we get a lot of inquiries, a lot of questions, but we also have a lot of existing users that come up to us at the trade shows and just saying like that they love their site, that they're we're doing a good job, or they'll ask for feature requests or things like that. And it's really great to see some of the same people each year as I go to those trade shows. I got to know a lot of photographers that use SmugMug around the country over the last few years doing those. So it's really nice to be able to go to those same cities and see those familiar faces each year.
Aren't you glad you don't work for Apple right now? Just saying. The question I long to ask is, how would SmugMug handle this? And then I go, wait a minute, SmugMug wouldn't have let this happen.
Right.
Anyway, but moving on. So that's fantastical. So there's a whole thing about how this company started and how the company itself came to be this. When Thomas and Lotus were doing their show and you were a sponsor, SmugMug was a sponsor, they would go on and on about it. People could, and Trey has gone on and on about it, and Michael Bonacore goes on and on. A lot of us go on and on about SmugMug till the point where some people go, yeah, okay, whatever, you're all being paid or something. I just don't believe it. How can one company be so good? But you are. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about is why that is. I mean, there are reasons. There is a vision. I mean, it's starting with right now. You are the largest photo site in the world, right?
We're one of them. Yeah. I mean, I think to give you some historical background, I don't know what people know necessarily, but SmugMug is actually really unusual in that it's been around for 10 years. So this past February, we actually marked our 10-year anniversary, and so. If you think about Facebook, which only in the past couple years has really become a big thing, if you think about even Flickr, which started in 2004, SmugMug preceded all of that. And so we've kind of been this really small, scrappy company that's just kind of borne through some really rough times, but it's just grown and grown and grown. I mean, the story is that it started with Don and Baldy, the McCaskells. They're a father-son team that had an idea, and the idea actually didn't even start with photography. Don originally had the idea in 2002 of starting a social gaming site that had this portion that was photo sharing. And what they saw after a couple months was that sharing your photos and having the story kind of shared through, you know, this visual component was actually like the big thing that people really cared about. And so they spun it into this photo sharing site, and since then it's grown into this behemoth. But I mean, Karen, you asked about the values, and something that you see every day in our company-wide emails is that even though the company is now much bigger, it started out just Don and Baldy in their living room, and then they hired all their family. We're now a company of about like 112 worldwide, and our number one goal is to always just wow our customers. And it's everything from, you know, giving out straps if we hear that you don't have a camera strap, or, you know, doing the right thing if your print's been destroyed. We'll go out of our way to make sure it's perfect. And I think that that kind of small company, family-owned mentality is what makes us really stand out, because at the end of the day, we're really trying to just make sure that your photos are safe and that you are getting the number one experience with these like really precious memories. And I think that sense of empowerment helps people like Nick go from being a customer to being one of our most amazing support heroes, and now actually working with really high-level companies and businesses. Mm-hmm. So it's pretty neat. It's really, you know, I think it's that sense of passion that drives like every level of what we do.
And you're actually, before I forget, I've actually got a mug here in celebration of this evening and you, and it's this.
Oh, fun.
I pulled that out just for you. So how is it that you hear, I'm trying to think of how companies word it, so this is just my own words, but okay, model. You have the model of company that is very, very, very successful, but in essence, you know, if there's some casualties along the way, so be it, right? Customers aren't happy, you lose some people. I think we're seeing that play out in front of our eyes right now with a large company. And you've had experience with those kinds of companies where we all have, where, you know, the customer is expendable, everybody's expendable. What's the bottom line? The dollar.
I'm frowning right now.
Because of the picture I'm painting?
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah.
But that is not, this is the thing that kind of, when we were preparing for this show, and then I was asking you a lot of questions, this is one of the things that I've observed, but then to hear you describe it, that no, it's almost like, you know, no man will be left behind. Like, if your print is destroyed because UPS destroyed it, you'll replace it. Right?
Yeah.
It's the customer. It's the customer and the photographers, and it's the length to which you guys will go to create customer satisfaction blows my mind.
You know, I think when we all talk about why we take photos, I think part of it is that there's artistry and it's you capturing the world and expressing it in a certain way. I think fundamentally it's about capturing a moment and sharing a story with people that you care about. You want to be able to capture it and share it in a way that is unique to you. And I think that's something that we feel like in every ounce of our body. The idea of losing a photo or having a print not be perfect for you is honestly like really upsetting, because like that is your moment, that is your story, and it's ultimately your legacy, like what you want to share with the world. So I mean, I don't think we're being soft when we really believe in that, and I think we're willing to put a lot of money towards supporting that kind of quality control. You know, our customer service team is big and worldwide, and they work every day of the year. Like Baldy, the co-founder, works on Christmas. It's just something that we really want to make sure that everyone is taken care of in the same way.
So are you 24/7?
We're not 24/7 yet. We're getting there.
Really?
Yeah, we're getting there. Yeah. So there are some hours during the evenings for the US time evenings, where we only have maybe 1 or 2 European support staff. So it's not truly 24/7 yet, but we do work every day of the year, including holidays.
I've been really amazed. Occasionally I'll stay up really late, just on occasion, and I'll have a little problem or something, and I'll send in like every night till 4. First thing in the morning, like before I've
just
even
like that.
Yeah, woken up. And let me know if this helps, and here's where you can reach us. It blows my mind.
Yeah, we try to answer every like tweet, Facebook post, email within a couple of hours, if not minutes.
I think that's also where you shine, is just doing it in those avenues so quickly. So I think often you get so many delays when you go through customer service with emails or what have you, and it's always like bam.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fairly new. I haven't had a chance, and maybe I won't have a chance to experience the customer service. Maybe everything's going to go perfect. I've been developing my website, but what I know is that today, in today's economy, the fact that you're able, with such a large subscribership, to maintain these relationships is a real testament to your company's dedication to its clients. It's one of the reasons that kind of swayed me over towards SmugMug. I was with another hosting site, and I really felt very detached from them. Like there wasn't a real connection. But you've managed in this new market that we have to be a very personal company, a very approachable and contactable company, and that's huge in my books.
That's great.
I've come over to
Yeah.
SmugMug.
I think that's why I like SmugMug, even though I'm such a noob. I know I'm getting the hang of it, but I like the idea that there is a person behind a computer that I'm talking to in real time. You know, and yes, I could go with the other company because it's cheaper or it's more convenient or whatever. But you know, I like when things just work. It's just like I log in and it just automatically, I'm not even logged in. I click the login button and it goes, oh, Facebook login. Hey, Anna, here's new news since the last time you logged in. I'm like, it loves me. I'm like, it knows my name. It's like when I go to Stuck on Earth and Karen says, hi, Anna, where have you want to travel today? And I'm like,
isn't that amazing? I love that.
Where do you want to take me today? I mean,
we're like this one big world. We're like a big world global hug. I love it.
I am here for you.
Well, so I mean, Nick is gonna in a little bit. He's gonna take us through, you know, some of the kind of like top getting started features and take us on a little startup. But Katherine, the or any of you actually. So what Anna was saying, some of the things that make you guys different, the company and photographs, is the way that people can share in social as well as other forms too. Tell us a little bit about that. Oh, just jump in, anybody. Well, because you can share on Facebook and Twitter, right?
Yeah, Nick, you should actually speak up because this can, you know, kind of talk about our API. There's some really cool stuff going on.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got all the galleries have a share button that you can enable. So that allows you to either when you're logged in as the owner or for your visitors when they're viewing your site to share the photos through. They can get a link there. You can get embed code for things like a slideshow or for videos that you can easily embed in a blog or an external website. You can post to things like Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, all sorts of different social avenues right through that share button. Because we want people to share their work. You know, we don't want people to upload photos to their SmugMug site just to have them sit there and no one ever see them. You know, get the photos out there and spread the word, and because that's why we take photos, right? It's not to just sit on our hard drives and you're the only one that sees them. We want people to easily see those, and that's part of the reason why we created the iOS app Camera Awesome, was that we're seeing more and more people taking photos on their phones instead of you know, regular cameras, and we wanted people to easily be able to share those to most of the social sites, plus back up the full res copies to their SmugMug sites. And yep, it's a really cool app if you haven't used it. You can go to awesomeeyes.com and download it, and it's a free app, and it's just got a bunch of really neat tools for free to help take the photos, like horizon bars and two-touch on it, so that you can have one finger be the exposure and the other be the focus point, things like that, that just helps you take those photos, and then you can send them to your SmugMug site or share them wherever you want to, because we want people to share their photos, not just have them be stuck with, you know, you're the only one that sees them.
That's fantastic. You know, the other thing I learned recently, I have a project called Lil Galleries where I create shows, multimedia shows, and then I can off a video of it. And I do run it on YouTube, but oh my God, does it look fantastic on SmugMug.
Yeah, it does.
which was news to me. I didn't know, until that happened, that till I was talking to you about little galleries, and you said, well, they look really good on SmugMug. And I'm like, I didn't even know you did videos. So people can actually sell their videos on SmugMug as well. Nod, nod.
Yeah.
That's correct. You can sell prints, digital downloads. Digital downloads would be like JPEGs of your stills, and then also videos. So you can price any of those out on the business account and sell them to whoever wants to buy them. That's
fantastic.
Yeah, and for someone who's fairly new, setting up the pricing is really quite painless once you understand the way that adding the percentages or the different ways you can set your prices. I found it really quite easy to navigate, and that's something I've struggled with in other websites, is trying to establish pricing. But your site makes that really relatively easy and painless.
Yeah, I agree, Ron. I really like the fact that you can also choose who prints, whether you want White House or Stay. Either. I like that option of not being stuck with just one print place, because sometimes once you calibrate or are used to a certain look that they all give you, you don't want to have to switch around. So I can keep it consistent with what I do in other aspects of my photography. So I really love that.
Yeah. I think that idea of choice is really powerful for us. We have 4 print labs that we work with, one in the UK called Loxley, Easy Prints, WHCC, and Bay Photo. And it's all about you figuring out what kind of works best for you and what products you like the best. And I think that idea of choice extends to your actual site, which is like totally customizable, which is really neat because you don't want your site to look like anyone else's site. You want it to be very, very personal, the vision that you want to put out to the world.
I think the other thing I would kind of bring up is that everybody's taking photos. Everybody has tons of photographs. Photo hosting sites are not just for professional photographers. Maybe you want to just speak to that, because I mean they're a really powerful tool to be sharing with family and friends, or to be building a portfolio while you're thinking of becoming a professional. It's a great way to park images that everyone can see and are very accessible. So,
yeah, that's a really interesting point. I think the whole idea of being a professional photographer, I mean, I think it's very debatable, and I think it's also very interesting. And it depends on how what you want to do with it. Some people are full-time working pros, and that's literally, they're selling prints, and that's all of their revenue. Other people take a more educational point of view, and they are photographers and are shooting all the time, but they are sort of running their business, focusing on different things. But I agree with you. If you have a passion, and if it's a visual passion, you need one place to put it all, whether it's a blog or your SmugMug site or whatever. I think it's good to give people a place to sort of congregate and interact with you and learn more about what you've been up to.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. It was a question mixed with a statement. It was kind of a mix of both. But I just wanted to kind of talk on that for a minute, because I've been seeing that there's so much need for us to get our pictures off of our computers and somewhere, not in our houses, but somewhere where we can actually share them. And SmugMug does that in a really, really beautiful way.
In the course of Katherine, you in particular, we've had this conversation about photographers and selling prints. Like, I asked you the hard question, which is, we hear all the time how photographers just don't sell prints. And you beg to differ. You have a different opinion. And that emerged into, then we had this whole other conversation starting there that went into how do photographers build their business and what's involved in that. Because it really isn't just like you throw them up on this website and now you're in business. It's a little more complex than that, and more so now with the whole new guard of digital and online and social and everything else.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really interesting point, and I think it touches on what we just talked about. Like, prints and selling prints is a really big way to make money if you're a photographer. There are a lot of other ways to sort of build a business for yourself, but I think the really general high-level rules that we've kind of seen play over and over again are things that Karen, you and I have talked about. And one is, telling your story and making it really personal and sort of creating a narrative around your images. I think especially as your audience is kind of developing their eye and they're developing their taste for what they like they may not be able to discern certain kinds of images from certain kinds of photographers. So by telling a story and laying that over your imagery, you're helping them kind of build an attachment to what you're creating. I think the other thing that we've talked about is, finding that audience, which does take work. Jay and Verena Patel dropped by SmugMug headquarters the other day, and they're like, you think Yvonne is like totally a robot? They're like so productive and they're like amazing. They're truly amazing. And I feel like every time I talk to them, I learn so much from them. But one thing that they really, communicated to me is that all the action isn't just in the shooting and in the processing. Like, they wouldn't say that they're hustling, but they're out there building a community and they're meeting people and they're talking to people. Yeah. And a lot of that legwork is just, very traditional sales work, where you go to shows, you go to like Photoshop World, which is run by Scott Kelby. You go to, local art fairs, and I think you find your niche. And I think that it's not just in like the big sort of headliner events that everyone goes to, like the WPPIs. I think it's about looking at your community and looking at the people who might be kind of into the things that you're into, and then reaching out to them. Rena said that she actually, very early on in her career, went to a local like flower show, and it was a bunch of older women who had flower as a hobby but wanted a way to, have their memories captured and, share more easily their interest in flowers. And so that's turned into this like really huge thing where every year she goes back and she teaches women about photography, and she maybe sells some work, and they know her, and they only think about her when they think about flower photography. So that's like a really cool thing that was specific to her community and her opportunity. And I think that's really important. It's about legwork and getting out there and making those connections.
Well, there's a disconnect, I think, with a lot of photographers too, where they think of here's my thing, and now somebody out there has to buy it or whatever. But what you're describing is building relationships, which if you were dating and you were trying to find your ideal person or friend or relationship, you'd go to the places that have similar-minded people, whether that's online. Google Plus has been huge, for us here in that. But that is nowadays what businesses are based on, is relationships and an authentic representation of who you are and what you stand for in the world.
Yeah, on that authenticity note, something that's really amazed me about Google Plus is that the community just feels really, really sincere and like just really nice. And you see that extended in fundraisers for photographers who maybe have been diagnosed with cancer, or Michael Bonacore, his dog Rocky was really ill, so people rallied to really support Rocky and like felt really good about it. And I think that's what happens when you gather around this common interest and you are authentic and you're genuine and you are truly portraying yourself online in the same way that you would be online. You're just super sincere. And so, Karen, I think you're right. I think it's about being authentic. I think it's about being unique. I think it's about being personal. And I think it's also about being in touch. You never want your hobby to turn into work. You want it to always be this thing that you wake up just smiling about. And I think having those periodic gut checks is really helpful.
Yeah. And the thing was, too, that in that same conversation, there are avenues of photography like landscape and some others that are so populated, and, it's like good luck making money there. But then even more important, because in essence, what we were talking about is the fact that yes, people are buying your work, but if you do your job right, if as a business model, then what people are really buying, if you want to think of it that way, is a piece of you.
Yeah.
I love her. I love him. I mean, think about Trey. Oh my God, love his work, but what a cool guy, or Thomas, or any of these people who are really out there and who have they themselves make a statement in the world, and it's almost like by buying their work, you have a little piece of that for yourself.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I think
that's lovely. It's true.
It is true.
I
It
like
is true.
that.
And sometimes, I notice some people come on Google Plus and all they do is post, their latest blog or their latest print or their
just
calendar
a link
sale.
out to buy something.
Right.
And it gets tired pretty fast.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say we were talking about Michael, and we were talking about different initiatives, and you said about Trey Ratcliffe, and I started thinking about their sites, and these guys have SmugMug sites, but they're pretty cool SmugMug sites because they have customized them. And so you can go beyond your easy customizer. There's the easy customizer where you just follow your, what's it called, a template, and you were able to make a certain number of changes, but it doesn't end there.
Because, I mean, those templates are pretty great as they are.
Yeah.
You do a lot with them. But yeah, you can do so much more. Sorry. Go ahead, Catherine.
Oh, she popped.
I think we lost Catherine.
Yeah. So what I was noticing was one of the things that attracted me to SmugMug was that you could start off fairly simply and have something up and running in very few hours or minutes, and
then
have
just
something
tweak
where
it.
you point somebody to, and it would be fine. Any client could go and see it, and you wouldn't be ashamed of your site. It's very professional. And on the other hand, you can take it to the nth degree in customizing, like Michael and Trey have done. What other names? I think of
And
Charlie's got
Colby.
a great site. Colby's got a great site.
Colby didn't he say that Trey had convinced him a long time ago to go to SmugMug, and his SmugMug site literally nearly mirrored his old website.
Yeah.
That's one of the really brilliant things, that SmugMug can do is if you have an existing website where, maybe it's a blog or your website where you're showing your photos and you want to add selling your prints. SmugMug can so beautifully create this seamless experience where you click on a photo and you've just gone to the SmugMug portion for the e-commerce portion of your website, but nobody knows that because it's totally branded like your
That's what I really like about SmugMug as a business owner is even though it's not like I'm using my SmugMug as a proofing gallery right now. Like my clients can go and they type in their password. There's this great link that when you do events that says instant download. So they see a photo they like, they can download it to their computer, and it's like, amazing. It's like this is the easiest thing I've ever. I don't even have to email photos individually to anyone. I just give them a link to the album, and they do all the work.
Well, speaking of how easy it is, Nick, you have a little. You're going to take us on a little journey.
Yeah. I'm really excited about this journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to see if I can show you how to start a trial account, get pricing set up, some customization, and some galleries started in about 15 minutes.
Your mic is making some interesting noise. You may, try to adjust
That would be the stuff on my face that gets in the way.
That could be.
His beard's talking to us, too.
While you're getting your screen share set up, someone in the chat mentioned a really cool thing, which is, and I've done this, and it really was a fantastic gift, giving a budding photographer who doesn't have a SmugMug site a gift card as a boost to their career. And boy, that is the gift that keeps on giving. And I loved it. It was really rewarding for me when I did it for someone in the past year. It was pretty great.
Cool.
There we go.
All right. So I'm just at smugmug.com. And I'm going to start a free trial. And all you need for this is an email address. And then we'll give it a site name. And I'm going to want this a pro, so I'm going to say I intend to sell photos. When you start your free trial, all trials are business accounts, so you have access to all the features on the site. So once this starts my trial, it's going to go to the Create a Gallery page, but I don't want to do this quite yet. So I'm just going to create a gallery but not upload to it yet. One of the galleries that I'm going to upload is going to be portraits.
How do you know you don't want to deal with this right now, just because?
Because I'm going to, before I upload anything, I want to set up my pricing. And that way, there's no way that someone could purchase a print for no markup. So I'm just going to click I'm done uploading, and it's going to take me into an empty gallery. So one of the things that I want to do first is click Settings, and this takes you to the gallery settings page. The thing I'm going to show you here is how to set up a quick setting. Because once you set up a quick setting, you can easily apply these settings to any new gallery that you're creating. So it's basically a template of all these settings that you're going to go through. And I'm not going to go through all these because it would take too long, but the important things to set up are your security and privacy. So if you want to add a password, you can add that here. I'm going to create a quick setting for my portfolio galleries here. So these are going to be public galleries that people will be able to see a sample of my work. So no password, privacy is going to be set to public. Hello World and Hello Smuggers are both search engine settings. So if you do not want it to be indexed by the search engines, click no here. Hello Smuggers is internal SmugMug search. So same thing, you can turn it off here. External links lets people embed your photos in external websites, or if someone shares one of these photos, say on Facebook, it'll show a thumbnail. If you turn external links off, then that thumbnail won't show up. So I'm going to keep external links on, but I'm going to limit the largest size viewable. Protected is right-click protection. I'm going to turn that on. I don't want to watermark these, but that's personal preference. So if you want to watermark, you can. And largest size, I'm going to keep this at X large. X large is 800 by 600 pixels largest, and you can go up to X3 large, which is 1600 by 1200 pixels, or smaller to medium, and I don't remember the size of that one.
And the original,
you want to make
you want to
make sure that you don't enable original for the majority of your galleries unless you want people to be able to download the full res file. When you put X3 large as your smallest, that blocks your original size so that no one has access to that original size file, but we have access to it when someone orders prints. So we send that original size photo to the lab for you. So for this case, I'm going to choose X large. And for social, I'll leave photo rank on, comments on, easy sharing on, because I want people to be able to share these photos to get more exposure for me in my photography.
Nick, I'm sorry to interrupt, but did you say that if we click original, they are able to download that?
Yes.
Or okay,
they have access. They have access to your original size file. Yes. So
okay,
if you have protected to no and originals yes, they'll have a save photo icon. But even if you have protected as yes icon anymore, but they'll still have access to your original.
Okay.
So I'm gonna want to put. So we can go over that more later if you have more questions on that. Printing, I'm going to want to put printing to no because this is just a portfolio gallery. So I don't need people to print these. And I'm going to go back up to the top of the page.
When would you click yes under printing? You would click yes if you wanted.
In printing, if it's a client gallery, if it's something that you, or if it's a portfolio gallery that you want to sell prints through, you could turn printing on here.
Okay.
For my example here, I'm just going to have, well, you know what, I'll turn printing on because I'm going to set prices, so I'll show you how that works. So printable, yes. In that case, proof days, I want to turn this on. Proof days allows you to review an order before it goes to the print lab. So you can adjust thumbnails, you can replace images in the order so that if you need to retouch something, you can do that before the order goes to the lab. And there's some other options in here that I'm not going to go through right now because we just don't have time to go through every setting in here. But those are the main ones that you should set. Are printable, yes, proof days, set to yes. Yeah, and then I'm going to scroll up to the top. Yes?
I was just going to say, I just mentioned one thing because when I had been considering SmugMug, it's been over the last while, I was asking people about their satisfaction with getting prints from specifically Bay Photo, and I haven't heard a single complaint. But my concern was getting it, first of all, to Canada because I'm Canadian, and I noticed Krista Ray in the chat has had stuff come up to Canada with no problem whatsoever.
Yep. So some of our support staff is in Canada, and one, Anne McRae, she's a photographer, and she's in Canada, and she doesn't have issues.
And so yeah, I was just going to point that out because I was nervous about having prints go directly to a client, and so I started to ask people, how have you, you know, with the questions, and I haven't had a complaint, so just want to let you know that.
Awesome, that's great to hear.
Yeah.
All right, so back at the top under quick settings, I want to save these settings, and and I'm going to call the settings portfolio. That way in the future I know that these are the settings I want to use for portfolio galleries. And you can create more than one quick setting, so you could create one for client galleries or anything you need them for. So that applied those settings to this gallery, and it also saved that quick setting. So to upload, I'm going to start uploads in the background while I do some other things. And I'm going to use Lightroom to upload. If you want to upload directly through your browser, you can just click Upload to this gallery, and it'll bring up an HTML5, Java, or a Flash-based uploader. And they all look pretty similar to this. I'm going to use Lightroom for right now, and because I do my editing in Lightroom, so it just works into my workflow very well. Here, I'll tell you what I'm doing here. So I've got SmugMug publish service already installed, so I click Setup.
Are you showing? Hold on a second. Are you showing your Lightroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you need
Is that not shared?
Yeah, you need to share your desktop.
All right, sorry.
No, it's all right. If you just get out of go back and share your desktop. Be perfect.
Oops.
Oh yeah,
there we go. See it now?
Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I just have Lightroom open. I'm in Library View, and in the bottom left are the published services. So I've got SmugMug in there already. If you don't see it, just click Find More Services online, and SmugMug will be the first published service in there. I click Setup, and Setup, I'll need to authorize my account, my SmugMug account, so that Lightroom has permission to publish there. Oops. And you might not see this, but it just switched back.
Oh, he dropped.
Oh,
So
no.
here's a question, you guys. One of the questions out of the chat is, I've been doing personal delivery so that I can sign prints and then send them. But it's getting expensive, obviously. So what do you recommend? Or just don't sign them and do a separate gallery with higher prices for signed, or what?
Karen, that's probably a good idea. That was my thinking. They just have that's probably a pretty good business practice. Is you have your standard edition prints, which can be fulfilled directly to the customer, or you can just have limited edition signed prints, which are higher value, and you know that these prints have been inspected by the photographer and personally signed. So that's a good idea.
Excellent. There was another question. I guess it was asked of us. Did some of us become more pro and a marketer, and more of a marketer once we got our SmugMug accounts? Did it shift the focus of our photos? What about the rest of you?
I don't think it's shifted the focus of my photos. It's just made my regular workflow a lot easier. Like, it freed up a lot of time. Prior to SmugMug, I would have my own proofing gallery on my website, and my clients would they'll go to that proofing gallery, then I have to go through all the list of what they chose, edit those photos, get those photos to the printer, have the printer send them to me, and then have to do a delivery. So now that I can do it seamlessly through SmugMug, it cut out at least hours of my time that can be devoted to something else.
Yeah.
That's actually just what I was thinking, was about how much time this was going to cut for me, because that's what I've been doing, Anna. What you had done is I've been doing my own little galleries and getting it all set, sending it to the client, and they tell me, oh, I want these and these and these, and then I'd go back, check them all over again, make sure I had everything correct, then print them, then get them here to the house, then take them to the clients. So this is going to be, time-wise, yeah,
Huge.
I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, my goal in life is to have everything I do online, because I don't like touching stuff. I just want to say, touch it yourself.
It's a hands-off kind of situation.
Wow.
I think, like, Toby,
We'll just let that go.
Toby had the question of, he wanted to have them signed, and then he wanted to pay a little, and you had his clients pay a little extra if they had it signed. And I used to be very control heavy, where I wanted to see the print and I wanted to inspect everything about it. But I'm glad that SmugMug, if the print was damaged, en route to my client, that they would replace it. The customer service fantastic. So I'm about ready to I will blindly let them be sent and then be like, they will take care of me.
Well, so if you wanted to have a signed, how does that work if you want to have a signed print in SmugMug then? You have a
Well,
digital
wouldn't you
signature?
just have? Well, you could just have an extra gallery. Is that what you were saying before, Yvonne? Just have an extra gallery that specifically prices are set higher, and it comes to you. You sign it because I don't know if you'd want to do a digital signature if you're going to charge more money. I would think that for me, if I was a customer, I'd want a pen signature in some form or fashion.
Yeah, you would want to intercept the print, and I mean, then it comes to the question is how do you actually sign a print? So that's a hard one because there are pens out there where you can sign the print. Some people actually sign the mat around the print or sign the back of the print, or they include a certificate with signature. That's what I do. And so that's definitely the case of how you do it. And you can set up a separate gallery and you can have a separate price list for that. SmugMug allows you to have a lot of price lists. I don't know if we have a limit on how many price lists you could have, but you could have multiple price lists.
When you're talking about pens, is there something that you specifically think would work better? I mean, you guys, or Katherine, either one of you, is there a specific pen that if somebody's going to sign their prints with, is there something that's better than the other ones?
Yeah, you can go to the art store and see what they have there. I bought kind of like a silver ink signature pen.
Yeah, that's what I have too.
The problem is if your signature doesn't come out very well, your print is ruined. So what I've done is I actually include a paper certificate with all my prints that has a signature and has a stamp, and you can see that is, and it describes the print, who it was sold to, and so forth.
Yeah, I very rarely ever send out prints, like my own fine art prints. So I sign the back of my prints because I'm like, it's like a watermark. I don't know where to quite sign, and I don't want to mess it up. And
yeah, and what if your penmanship isn't good enough? I mean,
so I just sign the back, and I'm just like, because they just sell this print. Like if everything disappears, there's my signature.
So somebody's asking the question, Larry in the chat is asking, do you do limited editions, like 17 of 300, or, like how would you do that, or does one do that, or?
I think that would be handled at home once you get your images there, and then you distribute. Is that right?
Right. Yeah, you can do that, or you can just count however many prints you have sold, and once that sold 25 prints, you just close the edition. You disable printing for that image.
Yeah. Okay.
You can do that. That is, of course, just a marketing question whether you want to do that at all. I see a lot of people doing it. I personally don't do it. My views on that is that I don't want to be limited by that. A lot of the times you see photographers do a limited edition of 50, a limited edition of 100 when they never get to 100 or get to a 50. So just really all depends.
Very, very, very good. So
I think on that note, sorry, just one sort of tip. So Yvonne was saying that it's kind of like a marketing thing, and within the SmugMug gallery, you get a pretty ample space for description. And I think the most compelling photography sites I've seen really make the most of that description. So not only do the photographers talk about how they got the shot and what's so special about it, but they'll actually guide people through the whole experience. And they'll say, for limited time only, I'm giving you 15% off, or proceeds will go to charity, or whatever. Like, that space is up for you. It's like yours to message. And I think it's just all about how you want to shape the conversation around it.
That's so true.
Can you set pricing on one print at 15% off?
Is there image level pricing? I need to double check that. So the way that I've always priced my own photos is that I do it at the gallery level. But let me check on that for you.
Okay.
Yeah, I was just going to say about that, when I was doing research as I'm building my online presence more and more, I am always most impressed by people that make use of the text areas, helping me get to know them as a person. So what they believe in, like if they have charities, a bit more about the images I'm looking at. And so I have to agree that when I'm looking online, I'm most attracted to sites that help me get to know the person better, because photography and art and visual things are very personal things. it's not just the image. It's more than just the image to me. It's the image and the person behind the image.
Cool. So Nick apparently, I don't know what happened to Nick. I sent him another invite, but I know a lot of people have questions about setting up pricing and how to decide about pricing and what's the right price and is that too high or is that too low? And I know people are always asking me like, how do you set your pricing? And then you've got a new system now from when I first joined, and I've actually got to go in and redo mine so that it's with the new system. But just wonder if you know how to do that. I know Nick was just getting ready to take us there when.
It's really easy to do. I can show you how you can do it on SmugMug.
Okay.
If you're interested. So.
Yeah.
But while I switch to that, while I open the new window and everything, just from high-level view, it is it's really a question of whether you want to sell or not, right? Because
SmugMug has, I mean, there is a level if you just simply want to share nice photos with your family and friends, right?
Correct. Yep. Yeah. And so let me show you how easy it is to set up your prices. But the reason why I'm saying that is some people outprice their photos. They set them so high that they don't sell anything.
How do they know what's high and what isn't?
That's just a question of number one, you have to realize your value. Is there a market for your prints? I would say for 99% of all the photographers, there is no market for your prints, and so therefore it's not in high demand. And for those cases, I would not recommend setting prices at $1,000 a print. If you're just trying to inflate your value, then why don't you set it at $1 million a print and say, hey, my prints sell for $1 million. I'm not selling any, but that's the value I
Good philosophy.
put on my prints. So and then maybe you never know. Maybe one day you'll sell one print for $1 million and you can retire.
I'll be right back. I'm going to change my pricing right now.
Yeah, so and we'll be grateful at SmugMug to that one customer who sells it for $1 million. But essentially, the idea here is that you want to make your work affordable, and you have to make it profitable. So I would not sell it at cost, but make it affordable so others could buy your work and collect it, and that way you're giving it away. That's my advice. That's my personal view on it. And this way, I'm selling prints every month. So let me show you. Let me try to switch here, and I'll show you how you can set your prices in 1 minute or so. If I can just find a way here of screen share and can you guys see this?
Yeah.
So you go to your account settings and you go under business section and you go under making money. And I have a fairly new account. You can see I made 6 sales to date, and I have a profit of $3.
All right.
Yes. So I actually sell a lot of prints off SmugMug because I do my own printing. But to manage your price list, you will go here, manage price lists, and I have several price lists. You just create new price list. You select your Bay photo. We can name the price list. Let's just name it Google Plus, and you select the photo lab, which will fulfill your prints. You can select Bay Photo, Loxley Colors in UK. WHCC is the East Coast based great lab, and then Easy Prints is another lab we allow. And right here in the bottom, you can select the option of color correct before printing. I usually leave it on because these guys at these labs are true professionals, and they make sure that it's printed correctly. I've never had a problem where I got a print and it was just completely whacked in colors, so I usually leave it on. And then to save time, I'll just say default profit is, it has 400% over base price, but I'm just going to say 200% over base price, and I'm going to round up my prices at every 5 cents.
Is this how you do it, 200%? That's how you're finding that you're selling more?
Typically, yes. I have several price lists. I have ones that I just that are pretty much close to the base price, and that means that I make very little profit, like those $3 I made on 6 prints. The reason being is because I just want to enable prints for my clients to buy, but it's not my business model to make money through prints. So I just make it easy for them to buy, and if they buy 200 prints, then I will make $100 or whatever. But that's very close to the base price. That's probably, I think it's 20% over base price. Here's the 200. 200 is probably a good limit because it will let you make money. And then what I'll do is I go choose products, and I'm just going to show you how I can add standard size prints. I add them all up. I want to offer them in luster paper, glossy, metallic, and gichli. I don't know how to ever pronounce that word. I've heard all kind of versions. Gichli, yeah. That's kind of a fine art paper. And you can see I've added these prints, and because I've already enabled 200% over base price, let's just go to a standard size like 8 by 12. The base price is $469, and sorry, $4.69.
Whoa!
At the end of the day, my math is starting.
You sold 6 of those today.
Fail.
Now I have a question. So I always crop my images 2 by 3. Now, are the clients in control of if they were to buy like an 8 by 10, cropping it, or do I have to go back and?
Let's cover that one. Let him finish the numbers. No, it's fine. It's totally fine. I think that's a great question.
Yeah, just a quick answer to that. You can make that setting available in your gallery where customers can crop or not crop. So, so totally up to you. But back to this, base price $4.69. Because I have a 200% over base price, my profit is going to be $9.38. So therefore, that makes the price of $15.75 to my customers. So I can set it this way. Another way, I can actually overwrite this value, and I say, you know what? I just want it to be a round number. It's 8 by 12. I just want it to be $20. When I overwrite it, it automatically adjusts the profit, and it says, okay, if you sell this print at $20, then your profit is going to be $13. I actually did this for a lot of the standard size just to make prices round and the ones that made sense.
That's exactly what I did too.
You can do that. You can also just say, okay, why don't you just round at 0, so you only have prices at 0. So $20, you can round at 99 cents if you want to try that famous marketing trick that deceives your eyes. Oh, that's not $125. I'm actually paying $124. So you can do it however you want. And then I apply changes, and boom, I have a price list.
Now you can do multiple profiles so that you can assign a price list to a specific gallery. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's exactly correct.
That's a really important feature for somebody who does, for instance, multiple things like weddings one weekend, he's doing an event another, he's shooting, for fine art prints the next. It's good to be able to set up a specific price profile for whatever work he's selling.
Yep. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So that's your quick demonstration.
That's fantastic. Oh yeah, the other question was, can you price at the image level? Nick, that's probably more a question for you, I think.
You definitely can. If I hadn't dropped out, I actually showed that.
I was going to say, welcome back.
He was just spending a lot of minutes demonstrating to us.
Do you want to show? I mean, we probably just stomped all over your demo.
Sure, no, that's fine. I can show that. So where exactly did I drop off? Was it when I was starting to go into the pricing?
You were just getting ready to go over there.
Okay, so I will pick up from there. Give me 1 second here, and I'll
While you're
get that
setting
back
up, I just want to let folks know we're going to finish your demo, and then we're going to do this hangout in 2 parts. We're going to end this one and then restart for the after show and do our giveaway, our SmugMug Pro giveaway. We've got a question which I'll give you. Wait, do we do that before or after? Tamara, do we do that before or after we go to the after show?
We do it in the after show because we want to make sure that people are actually watching us live.
Yay! So we'll do that. So we'll give you the question and award that in the after show, as well as answer more questions and give more demos of the SmugMug site, because everybody's so interested and curious, and we are too. I've learned a lot already. So that's what we'll do. Nick.
All right, so I will pick up where I left off. So Yvonne already showed how to do the pricing. Mm-hmm. So So we've got pricing set up. I already have a price list created. So let's go into the wedding gallery that I have.
And
So
can you
in this
also
wedding
show,
gallery,
is this in your flow also to show the thing about cropping? Is this part of what you're showing, or should we ask that?
is in cropping like once in the shopping cart,
Like
or
whether
cropping
to,
where in the
I
workflow?
guess that's where you do it. Yeah, to enable it so that the customer can crop. That may be a question for the
Oh, customers can crop by default. So yeah, customers in the shopping cart. So if I was to buy this photo, buy this photo, it'll show a preview on the left here. So if I choose a size like an 8x10 that needs cropping, it'll show a preview of it. And once I add that to the shopping cart and click checkout, so go to the shopping cart itself, it shows that cropping again. If you click on it, it lets you adjust that cropping. And if you use that setting proof delay, oops.
You can fix your client's cropping?
Delay. Yes. So you can do that only during proof delay. So you need to turn proof delay on to be able to adjust the cropping. Proof delay holds the order for up to 7 business days, and you set how many days that you want to hold it for, and then you can adjust cropping, and you can replace files so that you can, say, retouch an image and then replace it in the order. So you just click that adjust here, and then you just move the cropping wherever you want it.
Now, Nick, for the proofing gallery, once a client places an order and they check out and they pay and everything, do they send you an email that let you know you have 3 days to do the proofing?
Yes, you'll receive an email that shows you details on the order and also a link to view the order itself. So if you go into click Tools and click View Sales History, that will take you to your sales history, which shows all active and past orders, and that's where you would adjust those proof delay settings, or I should say not the settings, but the cropping or replacing a file. So the question before this was about image pricing. So once I'm in my gallery and I have price list set up, I can click Tools, Set Prices, and there's 2 options in here. The top option is for the gallery, and the bottom option is for this specific photo. So you can select a price list, but I already created a price list when I was talking to myself when I dropped off, and so I don't need to set any prices here. But if I had multiple ones, you could select them from the drop-down menu here. It says no price list assigned, but that just means there's no specific price list assigned to this gallery overriding your default price list. Okay. So it says that right here. This gallery inherits default pricing. So I do have that pricing applied to this gallery. And another way that you can set image pricing is I'm just going to click Manage Price Lists. This takes me back to my Manage Price Lists. And in here, you can actually select images and galleries directly from the price list. So instead of having to go gallery by gallery, you can come here. Actually, sorry. I need to go back to not my default price list to do that. So here, we'll use the default one that was already there. Click Edit List, and you'll see this price list applied to 0 galleries, 0 single photos. So when this loads, I can click Galleries, and I can come and access all my galleries, select the ones that I want that price list to apply to. You can click Selected, and it'll show you all the galleries throughout your site that you selected. Click Done, and then this price list will override that default price list. And it's the same thing for image pricing. So say like a lot of fine art photographers may want to do image pricing because an event photographer is going to have the same pricing for an entire gallery, but a fine art photographer may have individual prices for specific images within a gallery. So that image pricing is very helpful to those people. All right, so okay, after price list, I was going to show how to customize the site very simply. You can choose a theme, and a theme is basically a background image or color, and it changes the colors of the box. It's kind of like a skin on your site. So I'm going to use, I like the gray polka dots. So that's the theme. I'm going to click Save Theme Choice. When you click the Themes button on your home page, that's only applying to your home page. It's not affecting the rest of your galleries. If you want to affect all the galleries, go to Tools, Account Settings. And we're going to click on Style on the left. And then it says your current site-wide theme is SmugMug default. So I want to find that gray polka dots right there. And I click Save Changes. Changes have been saved. So now that gray polka dots theme is applied to all galleries on my site. So now I want to further customize it. So we'll click Manage under Easy Customizer.
That's a familiar page.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go through these really quickly. Basic appearance, darker lights. That's not actually going to affect anything because I have a theme applied. But if there was no theme applied specifically, you can change from the dark background to a white background. There. Browser, you can put a page title. That is what shows up in the tab. So you can do like Nick's Photography. And if you have a favicon, that is a little icon that shows up in the tab. You can upload that there. Under header, we're going to add a custom banner. So you can either just use text, or if you have an image, you can choose an image. I already uploaded these again when I was talking to myself. So all I did though was click choose file, and this selects the file on your computer. You select it, and then you click upload. So I already did that. So these files are already here. So I've got that banner. Click choose. There's my banner. I want to center justify it. And you can do a click to URL. And that can be to your SmugMug homepage. That could be to an external website, to a blog. That can be whatever you want it to be. And I want to add a navigation bar so people can easily navigate my site. So I select Add a Navigation Bar and then Navigation Bar Builder. First link I want to be my homepage. So I type in home, and in the click to URL drop-down box, I click homepage. It fills in the URL for me, and I'm going to do this for the two portfolio galleries that I already created. And so these are the only galleries I want to be listed there. That weddings gallery, we're saying that that was a live, client gallery, so you would not want to have that in your navigation bar. So personally, what I do is I create an event, which we don't have time to go over, but I would send my clients a link directly to their galleries, and it would be unlisted and password protected.
Yeah.
But you can have a client's link if you want and have all your client galleries listed there also. For the fonts on this, I like orange, so we're going to go with an orange here. So the color, we'll pick a brighter orange, and for the rollover color, we will pick a darker orange.
Nick, I have a question about the click to URL.
Sure.
I know on SmugMug you can do like collections, I guess. You can add, like, if you did like a navigation for weddings, you can add multiple albums in like a collection.
That would be, I think you're thinking of either events or shared groups. So if you want to display multiple galleries, then what you would do in that navigation bar builder, instead of selecting the individual galleries, you could say maybe portfolio under the click to URL, and then click that category that those galleries are in. So that would take me to my portfolio gallery, which would have the portraits and kids galleries within it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now you can add multiple categories, correct?
Sure. Yep. You can add. We have pre-made ones, or you can also create custom categories and subcategories as well.
Perfect.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
I'm going to click OK, and now it shows me a preview. So I've got the home, kids, portraits, and the rollover colors working. So that is my navigation bar. And then background, you can add a custom background image if you'd like. The text, you can use custom fonts and colors. Let's change this green to the orange. And there, that's changed. And you can select different fonts as well. I'm just going to leave these as they are. And under photos, the right-click message. This is an important one because when you turn right-click protection on, it says a pop-up window talking about your copyright on the image. So instead of being like a negative, these are my copyrighted photos, don't take them, be more proactive in selling and be more just friendly with your right-click message. So how about something like, thanks for your interest in my photos.
I like that. That's a
The buy
awesome
button
tip.
is to the right.
That is an awesome tip.
Nice.
I love that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So that way, when someone right-clicks on an image, instead of saying, these are my copyrighted
You
photos,
can't have
don't take
it.
them,
Yeah, I like that.
it'll say, these photos are for sale. You can buy them by clicking the buy button on the right.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Love it.
Even
So
if
that
you
helps.
sell
It's those little things that help promote your print sales.
I think there's a default one as well that says, oh, add this to your shopping cart.
Or the default one does talk about your copyright. So if you do want a custom one, you would need to click the photos and add your custom one here.
I like that.
Yep.
Oh, really? Because
You guys think of everything.
maybe I had already previously changed it. I don't know.
Oh, you might have changed it. Yeah, you might have changed it here, or you can do it through advanced customization too. But this is the easiest way to change that. And on homepage, I want to remove that text right there, so I can do that with this checkbox. Remove that whole box. And mobile, you can add a custom logo to the mobile SmugMug site. It needs to be 400 by 72 pixels. And again, you click choose image. And I chose it already and uploaded it, so my file's already here. So click choose, and now that logo will appear when someone loads the mobile SmugMug site.
Wow.
And the options up top are cancel. That will cancel out of this screen and nothing will be applied. Start over gives you some options to start from scratch. And save for later will save your changes but not publish it live. And publish publishes it live. So we will publish this live. And go back to my home page. And now you can see those changes applied. And if you want to do other things on your homepage, like change the boxes, you can add a slideshow by clicking the homepage layout button. So that will add the slideshow box. And once that's loaded, you can either select most popular photos, use a keyword, or select a specific gallery. So I'm just going to select a gallery, so that's the easiest right now. And there's all sorts of options you can do here. The splash URL is something you might want to use. If you upload your logo, you can use that as your splash URL. That will be the first image displayed on this in the slideshow. So you just put the direct link to the image for that. Click save, and my slideshow is going to load. So now, and I don't have an image set for my bio, so it won't display, but I'm going to hide it anyways. And in the weddings gallery, I'm going to make it unlisted so you can see what my site would look like if this was a live site, because my client gallery would be unlisted. And I'm going to log out so you can see what the site looks like as your viewer. So on my home page, I've got my banner, I've got my navigation bar, I've got a slideshow running, and this could also be a single image or a video. It's just a different box you add. And I've got my galleries at the bottom. And you could also hide that galleries box. Your home page could just be a slideshow and navigation. So I went a little bit longer, but
You're fired.
than the 15 minutes. But yeah, sorry about that.
No.
But this shows you that you can set up a customized site with portfolio galleries and setting your pricing in half hour, an hour. So you can really get started with your site very quickly. And there's definitely tons more that you can do. But this just shows you some of the quick options to get started very quickly.
Yeah. I do have a question before we go into our after show for people that are going to be watching the recording. My question is, if you have a large image library you'd like to upload, what's the best way to get images there? I mean, some photographers that might be switching hosting sites that want to come over, and they've already got an established portfolio with maybe hundreds or thousands of images. What's the best way to get them over to SmugMug when you have a large...
We've got a migration service. It's called, if you go to Smuggler.
Smuggler, I like that.
If you go to our help pages, if you go to our help pages, just help .smugmug.com and search for migration, it will find that site for you.
Okay.
Actually, Catherine just put it in our chat. I'm going to put it in the...
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Yeah, thank you, Karen.
yeah, there we go. Actually, Tamara, it's even faster than I am. Shocking.
And
Except when I miss letters.
Yeah, not Muggler. Not
Smuggler, smuggler. I'm thinking Harry Potter. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yay!
And kind of how we were talking about like choice earlier, like choice in labs, there's also choice in uploaders. We've got our web-based uploaders, the Lightroom Publish service that I showed, and also there's tons of other plugins for almost any editing software out there you can think of. Karen, that link I just posted in the chat, that goes to a page that lists all of those third-party applications that people have built that work with SmugMug.
I just put that in the public chat so people can have that too.
And the, I mean, we haven't even gone there, but the publish features in SmugMug are just or from
Let's
Lightroom.
talk about those in the after show because we're going to wrap up this segment.
There's so many questions.
There's so many more. I know this could be a marathon. It just might be.
Yeah.
But we're going to wrap this portion of our show and say that our giveaway will happen in moments after I restart this Hangout. But for this part of it, I want to thank you guys. Yvonne, who has to go, Catherine, and Nick, thank you so much for coming and sharing your culture, your company, and all these wonderful tips with us. We so appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You guys are just awesome.
Man, this is so informative.
Yeah.
We waited. We were just all giddy about having this particular show today. It was a highlight for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have another special announcement to make in the after show. So it's going to be action-packed as well, but in a whole different way. So for now, we're going to say bye. Bye, everybody. Do the wave. We're doing the wave.
Be on the other side.